Hello, everyone. This is the Sandbox the CEO podcast. This is our very first podcast. This podcast is kind of just about life, past, present, future. We're going to deal with business, current events, talk sports, talk life, talk religion, talk everything in between. I'm Jason Silver, along with my co-host, J.R. Drzinski. J.R., how's it going?
We are doing good today. So what I like always to say is we're going to make today great on purpose, right? So that's what we're going to do today. And this is the first of many podcasts that you guys are going to hear from myself and my co-host, Jason Silver. Known each other for, God, how long has it been, Jason?
38 years. We went to preschool at 4. So, yeah, a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time, huh? No, I tell that story a lot of times to people that I come in contact with. And I say, who's your oldest friend? And, people say, oh, it's someone from high school. And then I hit them with, my oldest friend's from preschool. And they're like, holy smokes, I can't believe you're still, such good friends with someone from preschool. So it's an awesome thing to have. And, it's just awesome. Not too many people have this.
No, it definitely doesn't happen. And with us taking different lives and paths, still staying connected. And I mean, you're out in New Jersey. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago, and we still see each other 6-7 times a year, coming home and stuff like that and hanging out. And no matter the distance, we've never missed a beat. So that's it's a testament to our relationship. And we talk every morning. For the viewers out there, JR and I have a little powwow every morning, kind of build each other up. Where we're at in life, I've owned a construction company. I've been in business just over 21 years now. My anniversary was last week. JR has been in sales most of his life, and he's actually just started his own business. Why don't you give us a little info about that?
Yeah, just started a non-medical home service company called Second Family. Think about whenever someone says, man, I'm not sure if mom or dad should be living alone anymore. I don't know if we should, what are we going to do with mom when we go on that vacation? So that's when, myself or companies like myself, Second Family, will send a caregiver in to kind of help with your daily living activities so that you could get peace of mind. You could go on that vacation, or, someone's overworked. You have, maybe your mom or your dad, or you are taking care of, a loved one that's older in age and just need that little extra support. That's where we come in and, help give that extra support so you can still be living your daily lives and kind of give you peace of mind. So that's what I just started in January of 2026. And we are what I like to say rocket ship.
Yeah, owning a business is a different thing. Everyone thinks that, you own your own business and you just start rolling in the dough and everything's easier. You don't have a boss, but, when you own your business, everyone you deal with is your boss. All your customers are your boss. It's a whole different thing. Just this morning, you had a little trouble, getting someone where they need to be. So no matter how good you build it up or whatever, things happen and, you pivoted and made it happen. So it's just
I like to say, right. So I wake up this morning and we have a caregiver that's scheduled to go to I'm getting a phone call right now. See, a caregiver didn't show up to a client this morning, right? It's 9:00. We have systems in place where you're supposed to check in and clock in with a geo fence around once you get to the client's home. And that clock-in never happened. So right away we get on the phone call. I get a call from my CNO, who is Marcy Kircher, which she'll be on the show at some point. Gives me a call this morning and says, we got a no-show, no-call, and she's trying to get a hold of the caregiver and couldn't get a hold of her. So then we have systems in place where it's a messaging system through Access Care, which is our software that we use, and we sent a text message out to all of our caregivers, seeing if they wanted to pick up a last-minute shift. So we, kind of sent that text message out, and within, 30 minutes, we had a caregiver step up and say that they wanted to take on that extra shift, which will be starting at 2:30 to 9:30 this afternoon. So also good that you got to have the systems in place, right? That's what I'm learning. I'm a brand new business owner, but I'm very process oriented. So I want to make sure that we have all the processes in place for when fires happen. We can take these fires out quickly and efficiently. That's kind of what the main focus is. And it's not easy being a business owner. I had the itch. I have a couple other friends in the Chicagoland area that have some construction background businesses, and I figured, if they're doing it, why can't I do it? And I really wanted to give it a shot because I didn't want to wake up, when I'm a little bit older and say, man, I never even gave it a shot. So here we are, second family, and like I say, we want to make today great on purpose, and we are a rocket ship.
Yeah, going back to saying, you wanted to do something. I've been trying to live lately by looking at something and say, if I want to do it, go ahead and do it. I'd rather look back in 5 years and say, I wish I did it differently, but I don't ever want to say I wish I did it in the first place, right? So seeing an opportunity, trying to step up and do something, taking advantage of that, whether you win or lose, at least you did it, compared to looking back in 5 years and saying, what if? I think, people make changes in their lives, things happen, and you just have to pivot and try new things sometimes, whether it's in business or, trying a food you never had or whatever, listening to new type of music, going to a concert that you never would go to. I was never a big country fan until about 7-8 years ago, and then went to a couple of country concerts with some friends, and all of a sudden, now I listen to country music more than I thought I ever would. Things like that, right? Not missing opportunities.
You're talking about that country music. How many years ago was it? We went to the
it was like
Soldier Field, and I got by boat into Soldier Field. No, it was the pavilion over there.
Lake Shake.
Yeah. And we're going by boat, and we bring the boat in, and then I get a freaking rope stuck in the propeller. We made it in there, and I had to cut it out in the morning. I think that was one of the first country concerts. I want to say
that was like my first one. I wasn't even really listening to much country music, and after that, seeing it live. How
many years ago was that? It had to be in the
9 years ago, dude.
No, it had to be more than that.
No,
it had to be more than that. I was married. Before I was married, and I just had 10 years. And
it was when I was going through my divorce with Diana. So it was about 8-9 years ago. Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
No, I wasn't married yet. There's no way I don't think I was married yet.
I don't know. Maybe a little longer ago. Time
flies, man. You know what I mean? Time flies. You never know, right? So it's insane how time flies.
It's that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Not wanting to miss opportunities, doing something, taking advantage of an opportunity, and just not looking back and saying, I wish I did it. You can wish you did it differently, but not saying, hey, I wish I tried this or I did that, and maybe missing an opportunity to find something new or, gain business or gain a friend, or, you never know.
Yeah. You just got to start, right? Case in point, last night, I'm doing work till 6 o'clock at night on a Friday night. I call a friend. I text a friend, say, hey, what are you getting into this weekend? He says, I'm going to the Dave Matthews concert. I was like, man, I haven't been to a Dave Matthews concert in a while. I was a big Dave Matthews fan back in high school, in the early 2000s. So I called up a friend, texted a friend, and said, hey, you want to go to this concert with me? Be ready in 15 minutes. I'm going to come pick you up. Picked him up. Went to the concert, and you know what I did? I went to the concert, met a buddy, and he was there with a networking group called Jersey Boys, and I met another person. Her name is Ashley, and she's like, "You should come to this networking event and become a member." And I just made connections, and I got a business card from another guy, and used the Blink card for the digital card that I had in my wallet. Used that, and made some connections, maybe some good connections, business connections, all just because I took the opportunity to go to a Dave Matthews concert, spur of the moment. And I might have, we're talking about doing a cigar night or cigar meetup on Tuesday. And then another meetup on, I think, sometime in July, I believe in July, for a legacy at the Legacy Club in Jersey. So you never know. You just got to get out there and make things happen.
Well, and for the viewers, you'll see that I'm wearing company shirt. JR is wearing a company shirt. I think my friends kind of used to make fun of me because all my shirts have my logo on it, pretty much, even like dress shirts. But again, you never know, right? You walk into somewhere and someone asks you what you do and how it works, and maybe they need your service, maybe they need my service, maybe they don't exactly need your service, but maybe you know someone that you can recommend. It's all about like building your Rolodex, whether it's business or social. The more people you know, the more people you can help, the more people can help you. It's a nice reciprocation of a community when you can build it up based on what you can do for someone, and then hopefully it can reciprocate back.
Yeah, that's what I'm really trying to do here in New Jersey, right? Just moved here 3 years ago. No friends, no family, really, and I'm building a whole new network. I'm building a personal network. I'm building a social network. I'm building a business network. So I'm doing a lot of networking events. If you would have told me in Chicago and said, if you came to me and said, "Hey, JR, like I need a plumber." All right, let me make a phone call. Hey, I'm looking for Bears tickets. Hold on. Let me call Jason Silver. He's got some Bears tickets. I need a dog walker. Hold on a minute. Let me call my mom. She's a dog walker. Electrician. Concert tickets. Basically anything you needed. I had a couple phone calls that I could make and make things happen and be a real connector. That's what I'm kind of, going to grow here in New Jersey in my new home. So it's a daunting task, but I'm up for it.
Yeah, being someone that could connect people with other people, whether it's business, social. If I know someone that's headed out your way on vacation or something, like, hey, my buddy JR out there, maybe you guys can meet up at the beach or something like that. Or, it's just having that value to present to other people is always a good thing. That's why, people talk about building up their Rolodex as big as possible, whether it's business or social. And it's a good thing to be able to provide. Definitely.
Well, they say the best referral is given a referral. You know what I mean? It's true. The best referral is given a referral. And that's how that's how you build trust. That's how I've been kind of sales technique, or just kind of the person I am. You build that trust up, and you have that trust bank that you could go into, and people trust you. And if you have that trust, people do business with people they trust. It's I don't think that's ever going to change.
Definitely. So we probably don't have any viewers yet, but we will one day, and then they'll probably go back to our first podcast and start watching around. So probably have people noticing some things in the background here. Let me lean over to the side. We have some medical equipment down here kind of representing JR, some construction equipment representing me. We're from Chicago, so Bears and Cubs. But why don't you tell us about the Penn State helmet there, JR?
Yes. So long time ago, once when I did play football at Penn State, played linebacker from 02 to 05. Played a lot of special teams. A guy from Chicago, went to Penn State, was there 4 years. Have a lot of good friends from Penn State. So yeah, definitely. I'm heading out to actually a golf letterman's club next weekend to kind of see some old teammates and things of that nature and reconnect. So that was a big part of who I am, and making it to that level is it's not easy, and when you get to that level, it's definitely a job. I will say that I was there. We didn't get paid like they're getting paid now. These boys are getting paid. I missed it by a couple of years, about 20 years, but it is what it is, and that's a whole nother conversation we could have for another cast, another pod about these boys getting paid, and if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a topic we'll tackle one day. Along with the Penn State helmet, we have some sports cars, a little yacht back there, some dream board stuff for us. A little present, little past, little future. You guys will see the Navy CB logo right here. That's what I did. I was a builder in the Navy, a ground builder, not on a ship. From there, I didn't do much in the Navy. I didn't really get deployed or anything like that. I signed up. I tried, did my part, came back home and started like a little handyman company while I was going to college, and kind of just kept on pushing through. And man, sometimes it was dark, and sometimes it was hard to pay the bills, but just kept on pushing through, and doing okay now. Good to you always want to do better. The grass is always greener, but just keep on striving to provide a good quality finish in the construction and be someone that customers, subcontractors, other contractors can always call on. I want to be that kind of guy that if someone wants to call the owner, they're going to call me, and I want to pick up my phone and be hands-on. I probably should be a little bit less hands-on sometimes, but working on that, right? So that's just a bit about our background there. And, this is the first podcast. We didn't really plan it out too much. We can put a little effort into it. So how was the show last night?
You know what we did, Jason? You know what we did? We started. God damn it. We started. That's all that happened, right? All you got to do is start. That's the main thing is starting, right? You got to start. I do a little thing in the morning. I get up at 5 a.m., work out at 5:30, and on the way to the gym, I do a little, let's get up, let's get going. And, I will tell you, I was not a morning workout till about 18 months ago. I used to work out later in the day, but, when I get done working out, I'm feeling good, ready to tackle the freaking day. I come out of there and I'm like, let's go. You make that, you can make that phone call that you didn't want to make, or you tackle that project that you've been putting off. You get done with that workout, feeling good and ready to start the day, and then you make that day great on purpose.
Yeah,
that's been working for me.
I'm a big proponent of waking up early. I'm a 3:30, 4 a.m. guy. In construction, it's kind of hard to get out at night sometimes, especially if I'm doing networking, estimating. With the military thing, waking up early has kind of been something I've been doing for 20 plus years now. Wake up every morning, hit the gym, which is awesome. You kind of get to refresh from the day before. You get out there, you put your headphones on and listen to music, a podcast, get your pump on, sweat a little bit, shower off, start your day. And, you're already going. You're already pumped up for the day. It's not like getting out of bed, grabbing a cup of coffee and running out the door. You're already up for a couple hours. You got some energy going. You got some confidence going. Again, JR and I talk pretty much every morning between 5 and 6:30 my Chicago time. So it's another, if you don't have anyone in your life that you can do that with, I would highly recommend it. I think we both have been going through some things over the last couple of years, and I think the daily, it's almost like a daily affirmation phone call, right? We're kind of building each other up. We're also talking about our problems, whether it's personal or business.
Personal and business. You know what I mean? It's personal and business problems.
And I think something that we have that, a lot of friends don't have is we definitely call each other out on bullshit, right? So if you're thinking, hey, you're kind of babying this, step up, you'll tell me, and then vice versa. And that's what a real friend is, everyone wants to try to be nice all the time, but sometimes you don't, you got to be a little mean, but do it in the right way, right? You see someone acting online, or you see someone making bad life decisions, or even, everyone wants to, we're early 40s, it doesn't get any easier to stay healthy, and having, someone to talk to about even that, or, hey, bro, getting a little chunky, time to hit the gym a little harder, right? You should, I think that everyone should have a couple people in their life like that. And, you do it in a positive way. You can bust balls here and there, but hey, no, for real, what can I do to help you out? Right. And I think that's the accountability calls and between us is it's big, because it's, it's literally as you're leaving for the gym and I'm leaving for work after hitting the gym. So they're nice to have. It's a big thing.
Yeah, I would echo that too, Jason, because I will tell you that there's been a couple people that I have that know that I get up that early and that I'm working out, and it's rubbed off on them. I tell you what, it's rubbed off on them. I got a buddy that I went to college with. His name's Andrew Gooman, and he's texting me. He's like, I've gotten text messages from him in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, being like, dude, I'm getting up, I'm working out, feeling good. Or I've text messaged him at 6, been like, let's go, LFG. And I'll get a text message later on saying, you know what, I needed that little pick me up to get me out of the bed to go work out.
Yeah,
with Andrew Goodman have seen that. Even with my buddy Brandon Foth that I lived with in Chicago way back when. We'll text back and forth, and we're on this fitness. I wouldn't say fitness challenge, but I would say this fitness lifestyle where, I'll text him and be like, I just got this great workout in. And we kind of check in every periodically to make sure that, the accountability. And, I just went out there last 2 weeks ago, and goddamn, that dude's in shape. And I was like, man, I got to pick it up. But I was out there, 18 months ago, and I was in like the greatest shape of my life. And he was like, man, you got veins popping out of everywhere out of my arms. I think it really motivated him. And then I come back, 8-10 months later, and next thing you know, he's kind of surpassed me, and he's in really great shape. And then that just kind of pushed me to then be like, you know what, I got to step it up. And a lot of people think, as we get older, we can't work out as hard, right? I mean, it's all about diet. So you really have to watch what you're eating, eat a lot of protein, and it's more diet than it is than it actually is working out. But you want to make sure you move and break a sweat every single day. That's what I try to do.
Definitely. Yeah, sorry. And you'll see, unfortunately, as business owners, I'm sure JR and I during podcasts will have to answer phone calls or messages. I have a few guys working right now, so I had to answer a couple questions.
Yeah, and like I said earlier this morning, I wake up, I get a call that we had a no show, no call for a client. One of the caregivers, no show, no call. So then we had the processes in place to kind of overcome that obstacle. But it was the first, and this is recorded now, so we're gonna say that was the first one, and I can guarantee you it's not going to be the last one that we're gonna have a no call, no show.
It's never going to be the last one.
I might do a little bit better at screening and making sure I get the right people on the bus. From everything that I hear is you want to make sure you get the right people on the bus. So it's not going to be, it was our first, but it's not going to be our last.
Yeah. And as you grow and get bigger, you hope you build up the right team, but everyone has a life. Things happen. You never know, cars break down, kids get sick. In your field, a lot of the nurses work for multiple companies, so they might take on a job from another company that might be a better fit for them or closer to their house. And they kind of just, unfortunately, the no call, no show. A lot of people just don't understand what it takes to run a business or have your name on something. So it's not, when there's a problem, you're the person getting called, not them. Right. So people tend to take a step back when it is not their name or when they don't have the responsibility on their end. Right. It's just another job, or there's a step for them to get to their next destination in life, when this is somewhere we're trying to stay. We're trying to grow big. We're starting in a small town and trying to grow our lives, our businesses into bigger cities. And some of these workers are just people that live in the city, right? Hey, it's just what's going on around me.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get it easier. Everyone wants to be the boss, but then when it's time to be the boss, everyone wants to put their head in the sand, kind of thing. Being the boss ain't easy. You're a problem solver. And for all those people out there that are, workers or worker bees or employees, come with us with the solution. Say, hey, this is wrong, and don't just say what's wrong with us. What's wrong with something? Come with the solution. Hey, this is what's wrong. Give me 3 solutions, and then we'll talk through it and see which one's going to be the best fit.
Yeah, the 1-3-1, right? 1 problem, 3 solutions. What solution do you think is best? Then we'll discuss it. Maybe it's not, but maybe it is. And in a more people can come with that, and the more times they're hitting the correct answer, then they build up confidence, and you gain a better employee that can maybe step up one day to some kind of management level, or run teams or something like that. That's the kind of people I think in business owners are looking for, at least on my end as well, right?
Yeah, and you know what? We said it a couple times here. This pod is confidence, right? So I don't. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It could be playing sports, confidence. It could be doing a podcast, building your confidence. Being a parent, being a father, building your confidence. A lot of this life is building confidence and putting yourself in unfamiliar situations. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, and building your confidence, right? That's why a lot of parents, and myself included, put our kids in sports so they could build confidence. And sports is a way to do that quickly, because, right, if you're playing baseball, right, if you're a 500 hitter, you're only getting hit half the time, and that's really good. And you can build that confidence.
Yeah, if you're batting 330 in the pros, doing your job a third at a time, you're one of the best pros in the world, right? So it's about just putting effort in. Like you said earlier, showing up is half the battle to anything, right? A tough conversation, a networking event, a job interview, even a date, right? You show up, that's half the battle. You put yourself out there, you do your best. And I've said it a couple of times. I think I'd rather go out and show up to somewhere and fail than not show up at all. Right?
Well, you never know. It's just like I went to the Dave Matthews concert. I didn't know I was going to meet, some potential other business owners that could probably put me in the room of other places that, could help my business grow. I wasn't going there for that. But, when you're a business owner, you're always on and you're always networking. So like I said, just show up, one foot in the other, one foot in front of the other. And if you get 1% better every single day, that compounds massively from someone that's sitting on the couch watching TV.
Yeah, no, I tell you. So I'm just looking at the clock here, man. We're almost at 30 minutes. It doesn't even feel like we've been on here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This is our first one. I was kind of a little nervous, and it shook off pretty quick. We actually even tried to put together like a little outline and didn't even pull it up. So maybe we'll get a little more structured down our next couple. And like JR said, we'll plan on having guests from different aspects of life, other business owners, friends, family, people we just met. We're going to try to do that type of thing. We have between our group of friends, we have people that are professional comedians, professional athletes, doctors, everyone. I mean, construction workers, we know someone that does everything. So as we can grow this a little bit and possibly get some of those people on here to get different takes on different parts of life, I think that's going to be a good thing. Maybe even have our parents on and just ask them what the hell is wrong with them.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this parenting thing never ends. I have two kids, 9 and 7, and my son's going to be turning 8 July 24th. But I'll call my parents for parenting advice. You know what I mean? And I will tell you one thing I've learned growing older is parenting's never over, and no family's perfect. So just remember that you're not the only one going through some things. Every family's got issues. I don't know a family that doesn't have issues. So just keep at it. And make sure you do the best you can, and be polite and treat everyone with love.
I think that's pretty good advice. All right, so I think this is 30-minute mark. I think we're pretty good for the first one. I think it's a good run. Like you said, we showed up, we did it. We're going to try to put I think we're going to try to do at least once a week, but maybe a little more depending on if we have time. This is pretty easy. We can take, try to figure it out a little more. Hopefully, anyone that sees this likes the concept of it. It's not a new concept. There's 1,000 million other podcasts very similar to this. It's just, if you like our take on things or we're relatable, then hopefully, you know, we get people following. If not, then it's just you and I talking, and it's what we're doing every day anyways.
And we got documentation on it, right? So it's going to be documentation, and we get to go back. You know, we've known each other for, 30, whatever you said, 38 years or whatever you want to call it. And now we get to go back and document. I document, when my kids are younger, and now we're just going to be able to document this, and could look back on this in, another, let's see, 40, 50, 60, 20 years. We'll be 60 years old, and we'll be looking at this. And if that's the worst thing that comes out of it, well, goddamn, I think we won.
Yeah. And the idea is one day to be doing one of these shows from this boat right here. So, so
it's not an if, it's a when. It's a when.
I didn't say. I said the idea is not if. Yeah. Just that's the idea to get there one day.
Yeah. We're gonna get there. We'll see how long it takes us. How long we get there, but yep, let's do it. Rocket ship.
All right, everyone, anyone or no one. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Follow and like us. Second Family of Cherry Hill, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Follow us. We do some funny things.
My company is Silver Bullet Inc. All one word, easy to find. We've done some cool things. And just, you see this, you like it, have your friends follow us on YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time.